All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the shop. So I was originally going to do this video as part two to the door build, but then I realized there's really not a whole lot left to do except to paint. Nobody wants to watch paint dry, so instead we're going to look at some Amazon Chinese barn door hardware. Let's get started. Okay, so you might have noticed this little trend on Facebook and the YouTubes where these millennial Melissas like to make their houses look like barns on the inside, even though they've never stepped foot in one. So guess what we're gonna do at my house? We are going to put a double barn door up in our office and make it look super shabby chic. So instead of paying a fortune at the lower expectations where I sometimes get my hardware, we went ahead and went on Amazon and we found this Chinese kit. And I'm sure some of you have probably looked at one of those before and said, I don't know what I'm gonna get. I don't know if I wanna spend that money on that. So your prayers have been answered and I am going to review that for you. So here's what comes in the box. You get a set of hangers. In each box, you get your hardware and you get two rails. I'm doing two 30-inch doors, so I need a 5-foot set of track for each door. Now, what is super duper handy is they went ahead and pre-drilled holes at 16 inches on center. So if you are lucky enough that you have a house where somebody who knew what they were doing and knows how to use a tape measure built it, your studs should be 16-inch on center, and this should work out perfectly for you. However, I do not live in the land of make-believe and puppy dogs, and the people who built my house, they didn't do that. So my studs are God knows where. So I'm gonna have to take a piece of like 1x8, mount it up on the wall, and then mount my track directly to that 1x so that I've actually got some meat to grab into. Now they do provide some drywall anchors for that, but where I'm at, we've got 1/2-inch sheetrock. I might trust 50 pounds static in some drywall anchors if it's not moving back and forth, but with a door that's probably 50 or 60 pounds, constantly moving back and forth, racking. I don't trust that. I really don't want to have to re-drywall my house. So just keep that in mind. If you're going to do this, you may have to mount a piece of 1x up on your wall in order to mount this. So let's go ahead and get started and see what we got in here. Now, first up, these are some, oh, well, I guess I should start by telling you this. They give you this cute little packing list, and actually it's really not that bad, and it basically just tells you if this is the kind of kit that you bought, this is how many of these pieces you should have in here, but don't let that distract you from the fact that Jeffrey Epstein didn't kill himself. But if you want to take an inventory, you can. They also do give you some instructions, and I'm sure a lot of you are probably sitting there thinking like, oh shit, I'm going to get these instructions and they're going to be completely useless. Well, you're not wrong completely. So they do give you actually some pretty decent engineering drawings with callouts and telling you exactly what the dimensions are, where things need to be. And generally speaking, they're pretty close. There are some translation issues though. They tell you to like use a rotary punch to drill a hole in concrete. I'm not sure what a rotary punch is, but I'm guessing that it's some sort of kung fu that you use to put a hole in a wall. But overall, the directions really aren't that bad. And if you've ever put anything together before and you have a little bit of a mechanical inclination, this won't be too bad. But just keep in mind that our government is infiltrated by an elite pedophile ring. And I hope those motherfuckers burn in hell. So let's go ahead and look at what we got in the box. And Now, I think this might have been a mess up at the factory, but they went ahead and sent me 2 of these boxes, right? Each box has 2 of these in here. Now, I don't know what exactly this metal is. This piece isn't machined, it's definitely cast, and then they, you know, buffed it out. I can't tell, it's got some weight to it, so it's not aluminum. I can't tell if it's like painted steel or if it actually is stainless steel. I don't have a magnet on me, so I can't tell. It's actually a pretty decent little bracket. But yeah, they kind of messed up and sent me 2 of these. I don't know why. I'm guessing it's because I have 2 separate brackets. But those brackets are going to go together, so I only need 2 of these. But those are the door stops to keep your doors from flying off the end. Next we have, now, like I said, you can see in there you get 2 pieces, 2 boxes, so you get a total of 4 of these. You're going to need 2 per door. Now, surprisingly, this isn't actually bad. This is actually pretty decent hardware that they send you. I'm pretty sure that that's stainless. You can tell that they cut this out on a CNC laser cutter. It was a little off though. I put some calipers on it because I used to be a machinist and I'm anal like that. So these are pretty close to the drawings of where they should be in the size. For some reason they decided to go with like a 15-30 seconds drill. Probably some sort of weird metric nonsense that they then tried to translate over to standard. So if you don't have a set of machinist, you know, letter drills, it's a Z drill, by the way. If you don't have those hanging around, you're gonna have to go get one from the Home Despot if you want to. But this is actually really well made. It feels like it's got a solid set of either casters or not casters, bushings or bearings in there. I think this is plastic. I can't tell if it's plastic or aluminum. I'm not gonna mess with it to find out, but I'm guessing from the warmth of it that that's plastic, but it's really well made. I'm guessing that's some sort of like a Delrin actually, but not bad. I'm actually really impressed considering that this is like some Chinese nonsense. Not too bad. All right, so next up, we've got a mess of hardware. And speaking of messes, you should really look into what the Federal Reserve is doing. It's a nightmare. But anyway, so they give you all sorts of different bolts and such. Now, I can't remember if I mentioned this already or not, but they give you two different sets of bolts, right? So these connect this hanger to your door. There's 2 different sets of bolts for 2 different door thicknesses. My door is 1 3/8 thick, and I think the other set size is 1 7/8. So depending on what size thickness door you have is going to depend on which set of bolts you need to use. And that's going to become pretty obvious when you go to, you know, stick these into the door, mount this on. You're going to have a bunch of space left over. Then obviously you're going to know which bolts you should be using. Okay, so they give you, again, there's the drywall anchors, don't need those. They give you some nice lag bolts for going into the, you know what I just now noticed, and I did open this box beforehand just to kind of take inventory, and these lag bolts are ginormous. Let me look at some here real quick. So these are your spacers, and you know, I gotta tell you honestly, that's pretty well made. Again, I used to run CNC mills and lathes, so I know decent machining when I see it. That's actually fairly decent machining. And it is machined, and I'm guessing that that is stainless. And stainless is a pain in the ass to run. So you are getting some quality parts. Let's go ahead and open up one of these bolts. Let's see here. So these are the spacers that are going to go between your track and the wall. I think this is how this goes on. If not, you guys are going to be laughing at me in the comments section. Then I'm guessing, I don't know what the hell that is. That's alien technology. But then yeah, this will go into your say this is your drywall and then your stud. So I guess that's not actually that bad. All right, so there you go. That's it. That's your hardware. I think we've covered just about everything. So I'm gonna go ahead and start getting things put together, and stick around and we'll put this thing up.
Yo, microphone check, make it a microphone check. Give it a microphone, I make it a microphone dead. Don't step to me, newbie, I could truly be moody. I could have played the fucking Grinch in the movies. I've been a part-time shadow cat, part-time. That is not a guy that I would ever want to try to battle rap. Snap, crackle, pop, mind fried to a crisp. Make an MC into a wide-eyed lunatic. Yo, give it a stage in a minute, I'ma eat you. El Profesor is in the house, let me teach you. I could defeat you with 2 hands tied and have you waking in the hospital like, who am I? And who are you? Who are they? What is this? You wouldn't believe how summary.
Alright guys, so got this thing done. I want to show you a few things that I ran into. So you'll notice when these doors are closed, there's nothing to keep them from slamming into each other, right? Now these are the stoppers that they give you, okay? There's not enough room up here for 1, let alone 2, to keep these doors from slamming into each other. And even if you take this bracket off, the stopper still has to go on this bracket over here to keep this one from stopping. The other thing too, is I have this thing about as level as it's gonna get, and this door just freely slides on over by itself. So I think what we're gonna have to do is we're gonna get some magnets, drill them in, you know, countersink them, and that way when we go ahead and put the doors together, they will just automatically, you know, lock together without moving. And then finally, the T-guides that they give you with this kit are great and all if you have subfloors, but if you have concrete floors or nice tile floors that you don't want to drill into, these don't really work. So this is what they give you in the package. I don't know if you can see that on camera, but what they want you to do is take a router and, you know, route like a 3/4 inch slot in the bottom of your door, screw that to the floor, and then you know, the whole idea is that it'll be a track, your door will stay on that, and it won't flop around like this. There are brackets on Amazon that I found that you basically screw right into the floor plate, or the trim, and it's got 2 little rollers on it that clamp on and basically do the same thing without having to drill into your floor. So there you go. Chinese cheap Amazon double door roller. Does it work? Sure. It looks good. It works okay. Got some design issues, but not too bad.